Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Translate Anime Songs, Episode 1. We're going to be looking at the ending theme of Season 2 of Frieren, The Story of Us by Millet. And it has been a minute since I have done one of these. So for those of you who are new, and a refresher for everyone else, including myself, in this series, I am sorry, by the way, if you hear a cat squawking in the background. My son is very upset that he can't get into the bathroom right now to investigate what's going on in there, so he's squawking. Anyway, in my Let's Translate series, I assign something for patrons. In this case, it's people who pay just kind of episodically through my Ko-fi. So if you're interested in participating in these series as a translator, look down to my Ko-fi and see if I'm currently holding a Let's Translate series there, and sign up through my Ko-fi. So what we do is people who sign up through Ko-fi will translate something that I have assigned. In the past, it has been manga or light novels. And now I'm looking at what is probably the most difficult thing to translate, and that is songs and or poetry. So yeah, let me just preface this whole thing by saying this is hard. This particular song, I would say, is a little bit on the easier side as far as song translations go, but like, it is still very hard to translate a song because you have to take so many things into consideration, more than you have to take into consideration when you're translating something like just anime subtitles or manga dialogue or game dialogue or a light novel. I mean, each medium has its own challenges, of course, but song translation, I think, has like all of the challenges combined. You have to consider the source material. This is an ending theme song to Frieren, which is a series. It has a story to it. You have to consider, okay, is this song from any particular character's perspective? You know, sometimes anime opening and ending theme songs are actually sung by voice actors, and they are like sung from a certain character's POV, obviously. Sometimes it's not so obvious. Sometimes it's more just vibes based. It's like, oh, well, this singer is popular and they make good music, so they're doing the OP for this, or they're doing the ending theme, and it's not necessarily that connected to the show. But I think you'll find with this example, this song, it does tie in very much with Frieren. So you have to be familiar with the source material. You also have to consider, okay, well, whose POV is this song written in? Whose character is singing this? Who is this character singing to, perhaps? You also have to look at the literal meaning of the words, but you also have to consider how those lines are formatted. When you're translating anime subtitles, you can take some liberties sometimes, like if a character says in Japanese word order, where were you? I've been waiting for you all night. Sometimes if it works better, you can do something like translate that as I've been waiting for you all night. Where were you? If it works better, right? But in song translation, you can't necessarily do that because of the way the melody goes or something. I just think you have to be extra mindful of that sort of thing. And then on top of that, if you're going to make an adaptation that is a singable English cover, then that leads to a whole new set of things you have to consider. You have to be a musician. You have to consider like the natural cadence of the voice and how the pitch naturally rises and falls as you speak English words, and how that then corresponds to how the melody of the song is rising and lowering in pitch, and also like which notes are held out longer, if it's a whole note versus a quarter note or anything. Like you really can get into the weeds with song translation and adaptation, is my point. So I just wanted to really make all of that clear in saying that, like, it's hard translating songs, and all of these people are, brave for attempting this. And we should all be extremely kind. You should always be kind to people in these series in the comments section, and people generally are. I'm just like putting it out there, especially this time. Be like very kind to people in the comments, because this is some of the hardest stuff to translate. That was a long preamble. Anyway, to the thing. You should listen to the whole song in full before this video anyway. I think it'll help inform what you're going to learn. Okay, so the first stanza, I guess. So don't you worry. あなたに知られないように、あなたを守れますように. The story has only just begun. So we're already presented with a huge challenge of song translation, particularly from Japanese to English, and that is they love littering their lyrics with English. And often that English is not always good or even like correct necessarily. Sometimes you have to sort of translate the English into better English. In this case, so don't you worry, and the story has only just begun. Like, that's good English, like grammatically speaking. Meaning-wise, if you count the English as it is, so don't you worry, あなたに知られないように. So this can mean, it can either be like a prayer. A lot of times a prayer will end in ように. あなたを守れますように. That can mean, I pray that I may be able to protect you, or I pray that you will be protected. It's more implied, I pray that I will be able to protect you. But it can also be like, so that I may protect you. And then you'll usually follow that up with some other thought, like, あなたを守れますように強くなるぞ. Like, so that I may be able to protect you, I will, become stronger. I will train myself. But in this case, the closing thought to that is, the story has only just begun. And if you think about it, if you're a Japanese person listening to this song, what it's going to sound like to you is gibberish. So that you will not know, so I can protect you. Gibberish, gibberish. That's kind of what it's going to sound like to you if you're Japanese. You're not going to understand the English parts, but you're going to understand the Japanese parts. It's the reverse for us. So think about that also in your translations. So basically, I gave you the rough meaning of what those lines meant. Let's look at what the patrons did. So patron A is doing the kind of translation that you would find like on a blog, basically. That was their premise behind their translation. So don't you worry. I pray that I can stay unnoticed. I pray that I can keep you safe and sound. The story has only just begun. So patron A kept the English lines the same. And I think it works in this case. So patron A also chose to interpret the yo ni as pray. And I do think this is a pretty like decent call. This whole song does have a bit of a like I'm praying vibe to it. And this is just my thoughts as I'm looking at this. The opening animation, we open with Himmel, like writing. And so it implies, okay, maybe this is a letter that Himmel is writing to Frieren. Kind of like, after I'm gone. Like this, it's a huge theme of the show. It's like we learn through flashbacks about their relationship and, how much she meant to him, how much he meant to her. And this does sort of give that feeling of, okay, well, this is like his parting words to her, or like if he could leave a letter for her to find after he's dead. This is what he would say to her. And if you're interpreting it that way, which I kind of do, I pray that I can stay unnoticed, I don't think is quite right here. あなたに知られないように. So like literally it's like, so that I will not be known by you, so that you will not be wise to what I am doing. It's not even necessarily about I, the speaker. It's like, unbeknownst to you really is more like a proper, like literal translation of what that means. And honestly, I think unbeknownst to you is kind of a decent translation of this because the whole tone of this song is a little bit solemn. I pray that I can stay unnoticed. Like that isn't technically wrong in that regard. If you're taking this as like, I hope that I can stay sort of as a background character in your consciousness as you go through the rest of life. I pray that I can keep you safe and sound. That's a solid translation. Yeah, so mamoru, the default translation for that is always protect, but you can, there are other words that convey that meaning too. Sometimes it's keeping somebody safe. Sometimes it's taking care of a person, like a mother or a father or something like that. That's sometimes more the vibe. And I pray that I can keep you safe and sound. Keeping safe and sound, it has a cozy vibe to it, and this song and Frieren the show kind of have a cozy vibe, so I like that. Okay, Patron B did a singable adaptation. So don't you worry, that part's the same. There's a path ahead, so take a step and journey. So journey rhymes with worry. I mean, it's a slant rhyme, but it rhymes. I'll be right there to catch where you don't see. Our story has only just begun. Okay, yeah, so the only change Patron B made to the English lyrics was the story was changed to our story, which I really like. It makes it a lot more personal. And it's already, I mean, you can tell from the Japanese lyrics, we're using the anata pronoun a lot. Like, I am addressing this to you, a person. But also, if you use a pronoun like that, if you use a you pronoun like that to somebody, especially something like anata, it really can have a my dear, my darling sort of vibe to it. I do like the idea of changing the story to our story. It just makes it more intimate. It makes it a little closer and special. So it's singable for sure. What air is a little awkward. I understand why it was done, because if it's whatever, that's 3 syllables. Whatever is just 2 syllables, which makes it fit the rhythm better. When you make singable lyrics, you can change the rhythm a little bit to some extent. You can tweak it. Like what used to be a 2-syllable word, you can sometimes squeeze in a 3rd syllable if you have to. I'll be right there to catch whatever you don't see. You could add it in there. I think it would work. But again, I understand why it was done, just to really match those syllables. And notice how the word see, for example, don't see, it's 3 syllables long. And that's exactly what they did in the Japanese too. Namoremasu yo ni. They did 3 syllables for ni, which is technically just 1 syllable. So I really like how Patron B matched. Like, not only matched that this single syllable ni is now 3 syllables, the single syllable si is 3 syllables, but I like that they matched the vowel sound. I try to do this when I do English adaptations of Japanese songs, because like, whatever vowel you're, especially if it's a note that you hold, whatever vowel that note is held on, it really alters the vibe of a song or a moment in a song. So it's really cool if you can match the vowels with the Japanese vowels whenever possible. So let's look at the actual meaning here, though. There's a path ahead, so take that step and journey. That was not at all in this original passage. However, if you look ahead, they do mention paths, and like Frieren is all about journey, right? It's in the title of the show, right? So even though this original passage did not mention paths and taking steps and journeys, as an adaptation, I wouldn't necessarily say this is wrong, because later in the song they do mention paths, and the show itself is about the journey. I'll be right there to catch whatever you don't see. If you really think about it, you know, the original Japanese is more like, I pray that, may I be able to protect you, take care of you, keep you safe. I'll be right there to catch whatever you don't see. Like, that also implies I'll be there to, you know, to catch whatever, you know, traps you don't see and protect you, basically. It's another way of wording, I will protect you, I'll take care of you, I'll keep you safe. All right, let's look at Patron C. So Patron C submitted 2 translations. One is intended to be subtitles. So basically, you know, you're watching the anime, the ending credits are rolling, and the song is actually subtitled for once, even though it's often not subtitled. Now, I've mentioned this in previous videos before. The reason they often don't subtitle the songs, believe me, we, the translators, desperately want to subtitle the songs. Like, as a translator with Crunchyroll, I submitted song translations to a couple of the first shows that I translated for them, and they're like, yeah, we're sorry, but we're not allowed to include these subtitles because we don't have the license to the actual songs. And Japan is so finicky about their licensing and stuff like that. That's why it's really hard to find like any licensed material on Japanese YouTube. And it's also why I'm scared to include snippets of this song in this video, even if it's just like a 7-second chunk that ordinarily would not get me a copyright strike. It might get me a copyright strike in this song, or, get the video muted or taken down. It's happened to me before. Anyway, subtitle translations. So you have to consider when you're translating subtitles for a song that, the same rules for subtitling anime dialogue apply. You want it to be able to fit the screen in the time allotted. And with songs that usually, especially a slower song like this, that'll be okay because it takes a while to say, "Anata ni shirarenai yoni." If I were speaking that, it would be "Anata ni shirarenai yoni," and it would take much less time, and so there wouldn't be as much time to put that subtitle on the screen. But in this song, this nice, slow, sweet song, there's time. So you don't have to worry so much about character limitations for this song specifically. But you do have to consider, well, how are these lyrics going to look on the screen in real time as the person is listening to the Japanese? You have to consider that. So for example, if you have like lyrics that say very clearly, "So don't you worry," and the story has only just begun, if you choose to translate those English lyrics into better English lyrics, the person reading the subtitles and listening to the song in real time will say, "Wait a minute, that's not what this person is saying. That's wrong." So yeah, again, more things to consider. So anyway, patron C. "So don't you worry. I pray that from my presence in the shadows, I will manage to shade you from harm." "I will manage to" is a little not so poetic sounding, but looking at the whole sentiment, "I pray that from my presence in the shadows, I will manage to shade you from harm." Like combining those two thoughts together. My presence in the shadows is that so that you will not, unbeknownst to you, from my presence in the shadows, we're basically just embellishing on, well, why would you be unaware of my presence, unbeknownst to you? Why would this be unbeknownst to you that I am protecting you? Oh, because I am in the shadows. That's just another way of wording it. And I pray that, like I said, yoni, that often means I pray. I pray that. Yeah, so don't you worry, I pray that from my presence in the shadows, I will manage to shade you from harm. I personally, again, like, "I will manage to" doesn't sound like... I pray that from my presence in the shadows is beautiful. "I will manage to" is not quite so much. Ooh, another thing I have to mention for patron C is that this person is a Danish translator, doesn't usually translate into English. So keep that in mind also. I mean, I'm just going to say up front, these translations are freakishly good considering that this person doesn't translate into English. And I have said before that, like, if English is not your native language, it's not the best that you translate into it, but that's not always true. Like, if you're from a country like the Netherlands or Denmark or other places where you have been learning English from a very young age and you consume English language media all the time, like, your English is going to be pretty dang good. Especially if you practice it a lot. So I wouldn't completely outrule translating something into not your native language, as long as you are very, very fluent in it. Okay, so the next little stanza. "Ate no nai, michi naki michi ni ite mo dou ka, mayoi nagara de ite mo dou ka." So notice repeating dou ka, kibou ga soko ni aru yo, tomo ni aru yo. Okay, let's go for the literal meaning first before I get into like the poetics of this. So ate no nai michi naki michi ni itemo. So michi naki michi, it's like a pathless path, basically, is what michi naki michi means. Ate no nai means it's like it's going nowhere. So ni itemo. So even if you are on a pathless path that goes nowhere, dou ka, that's like I beg, I pray, please, I hope. Again, he's imploring, kind of like a prayer. Not necessarily a prayer to God. It could be a prayer to the person that this person is singing to. Again, I think it's Himmel, personally. Mayoi nagara de itemo. So even if you are lost, dou ka, I pray, I hope, please. Kibou ga soko ni aru yo. So again, this yo is more, I pray that, may it be. I pray that, or may, hope follow you wherever you are, basically. Soko ni aru. Soko means like over where you are specifically. So I would just, translate soko as you, where you are. Tomo ni aru yo. So again, this yo ni, it's the same concept. May, I pray, I hope. Tomo ni aru is with you. So even if you are lost, I pray that hope follows you wherever you go or is with you, always with you, basically. Tomo ni aru yo, walking by your side. There's lots of little embellishments that you could do with this little section here. So patron A, which again is like an online translation on a blog. So directionless, ate no nai. That's a good one-word translation for ate no nai to make it its own thought. Even when we're off the beaten path, please. Even when we've lost our way, please. Let there be hope walking alongside us. Okay, so interesting. The first phrase, the singer is speaking to a person. I pray that you can stay safe. I pray that, that you will be fine. But in the next one, this person is praying that we're singing about we being together. Now, in the Japanese, the only thing that implies that the singer is only singing to one person, soko ni aru. Yeah, like if the singer were talking about like us, they wouldn't use soko ni aru. Like the singer is clearly saying with you, this person I'm singing to. So it's really more in the original Japanese side. Even when you've lost your way, please let there be hope walking alongside you is more technically what it is in Japanese. Though I like this change personally, just artistically, I like it. And otherwise, like it's correct. Even when we're off the beaten path, that's a good way of phrasing this pathless path. Like michi naki michi sounds pretty cool and poetic in Japanese. Like the kind of alliteration and just kind of the way it sounds, it works pretty well. But in English, if you translate it literally as like the pathless path, I don't know, it could work depending on how you arrange it with other words. But on its own, pathless path just sounds kind of weird. So I like off the beaten path. Even when we've lost our way, mayoi nagara, expanding lost to lost your way. I think I like that because again, lost your way can allude, it can be a metaphor, like lost your way in life, not just, literally lost your way on a road, which again, I think this song is a bit metaphorical, so that works. Patron B, which again is an adaptation. Okay, if you feel lonely, I wonder if they're going to give me a copyright strike from my half-assed singing. If you feel lonely, like you're lost adrift with nothing left and no path, like the plans you've made will all just fade and won't last, just know that what's new you can't know, so explore the unknown. Now my cat is running up to me in concern because I'm singing. She always does that. Okay, so if you feel lonely is not in the original Japanese, but you would assume, hey, if this person is wandering lost, they might be lonely. Like you're lost adrift with nothing left. So there's no with nothing left in the original Japanese. But like you're lost adrift, mayoi nagara mo, and no path, the michi naki michi. So I've been saying already a lot, and I'm going to continue to say with Patron B's adaptation, oh, that was not in the original Japanese. I don't mean that as a dig or as a correction. When you adapt Japanese to English songs, almost inevitably, you're going to wind up like adding, I'm putting air quotes around adding, extra stuff just to fill out all those extra syllables, because Japanese words, they're longer than English words typically. It takes more syllables to say the same thing in Japanese than it does in English. So when you're adapting songs, you either have to make the choice to like just elongate all the words, like if you feel lonely, like it winds up sounding kind of silly if you just elongate the words like that, or you add some stuff. And again, you don't want to just like straight up make up stuff that doesn't exist. You look at the subtext of the song. Again, If You Feel Lonely was not in the original Japanese, but I do think it really fits the vibe of the song. The vibe of the song is like, I'm going to be with you even in death. I'm going to take care of you even in death. So if you feel lonely, remember, I'm here. That's the vibe of this song. So even though the Japanese did not say, if you feel lonely, I think this works. Like the plans you've made, okay, if you're lost adrift with nothing left and no path, like the plans you've made will all just fade. So we got that rhyming there, and won't last. So this last is rhyming. It's a slant rhyme again, but it works. This last rhymes with path. And then just know that. And it's the same like melodic theme here. And won't last. Just know that. Ah, cat. What's new, you can't know, so explore the unknown. What's new, you can't know. Like, if you see it written down like that, it's okay, I guess, but when you hear it sung, it's really confusing. Like, it's kind of hard to parse what that means. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where what's new you can't know is coming from. I mean, I guess the only part of the song that mentions like knowing things or not knowing things is like the very, very first line of the song, but that's more referencing like, even though you won't notice that I am here protecting you, taking care of you. What's new you can't know? I don't know. I don't understand the where that's coming from or what that like means exactly. So explore the unknown makes sense. I think the issue here is more just we're trying to fill out a bunch of syllables and rhyme. And when you do that, it's like I said at the beginning of this video, it is hard. Yeah, and I don't understand this choice personally, but there's probably a justification for it. And again, I don't feel like it's like wrong. I don't feel like it like clashes with the whole vibe of the song. So I don't like, I'm not going to say, oh, that's bad. I just personally don't get it. What's new you can't know, so explore the unknown. Yeah, that's a lot of words to get into that little couplet right there. Like, I would advise workshopping that couplet just so that it's tighter and cleaner and a little shorter and makes a little more sense. Like, I think I know what we're getting at here. Be brave, don't be daunted, and learn things. But yeah, it's just a little bit wordy to sing it. Patron C, which is, let me remind you, subtitles. Even in times when you find yourself on obscure paths to nowhere. So, ate no nai michi naki michi ni ite mo dou ka, basically, that entire phrase, even though it's 3 lines in Japanese, we're basically making it one complete thought in English, which it really is. Ate no nai michi naki michi ni ite mo douka. If you separate into 3 different thoughts, it's a little choppy. So even in times when you find yourself on obscure paths to nowhere, that is a good translation for that entire thought. So that was a fine choice to leave it all together. When you lose your way, I pray. Nice little rhyme there, whether it was intentional or not. May hope still find you. May hope still be by your side. Yeah, I like this may hope, may hope. I like that repetition there. Again, even though this is just a subtitled version, you can still and should still try to keep some of that, some of the patterns and the stuff in the original Japanese. So you got that douka, douka repeated twice. This patron did not choose to, well, I guess when you find yourself, when you lose your way, that's repeated, but not the douka, douka specifically. Like I pray was not repeated twice. However, may hope and may hope. Kibo ga soko ni aru yo, tomo ni aru yo. So that aru yo is repeated in Japanese. And here in the subtitles is repeated twice as may hope, may hope. And it makes it a little more poetic. This couplet, I like it. May hope still find you, may hope still be by your side. That's a little too long to sing. The first part's good, though. May hope still find you, may hope still guide you. I think that would work. That's singable and it rhymes. This is how you do it, folks. You just kind of play around until you find something. But yeah, this is a good translation and it would work as subtitles. None to the we are. I think all three patrons kept this we are the same, which is a smart choice because it works just fine. It's not necessarily bad English. It's kind of a meaningless scatting, background singers doing this little emotional thing in the background to uplift the lead singer. So that's fine. Now, you can make a choice, though. Are you going to incorporate we are into the next lines of the song, or is it just going to be incidental in the background? Okay, so we are. どこにでも行ける羽を we are あなたに授けたの. So this comes up in songs a lot, where you'll have, this is a complete thought. どこにでも行ける羽をあなたに授けたの. That is a complete sentence, but it is broken up with we are. You have a couple different choices. Either you translate this complete thought into two complete thoughts, or you translate it as one complete thought with like an ellipses in between it. I personally prefer to translate it as two complete thoughts because it's a little awkward if you have this like hanging ellipses in the middle of a thought while background singers are going, we are. It's just weird. We'll see how the patrons decided to deal with that. どんな闇も晴らしてしまえるように. So, どんな闇も, any darkness, like no matter how dark the darkness. 晴らして. So to 晴らす is to make the sun come up, to basically, to expel the darkness, to exorcise the darkness. And there's so many different poetic ways you could express that thought, basically. And since you have this verb ending shimaeru, so shimaru, ending of a verb, means like, not only am I making this darkness go away, I'm making it go away like forever, or like completely go away, basically. That's what shimau does. And then the shimaeru is the potential form. That means I can do this. But it's not necessarily I that can do this. You're ending it with yo ni, which is like, again, I pray, I hope, may. So back to this, who is it exactly that has the ability to make this darkness, no matter how dark it is, go away completely? You have to look back to the very beginning of this line. In fact, it is one complete thought. どこにでも行ける羽をあなたに授けたの。どんな闇も晴らしてしまえるように. So what you could do is start this sentence with どんな闇も晴らしてしまえるように。どこにでも行ける羽をあなたに授けたの. If you flip it like that, then it starts to make more sense. So that you may completely extinguish any darkness, no matter how dark it is. I have bestowed upon you these wings, these feathers that will help you, that will enable you to go anywhere. That's what this whole thing means, like literally. And again, it's not necessarily I have done this. You don't have the pronoun boku or ore or whatever in here, but we're assuming the singer is I. The singer gave anata, the person that they're singing this song to, hane, feathers, wings, that will take them anywhere, and that so that you can extinguish any darkness that comes your way. And again, that's a very unpoetic way of stating this, so let's go on to the patrons. Patron A, which is again a web translation. We are. There is nowhere these wings can't fly. We are. So I gifted them to you to sweep away even the deepest darkness. Oh, I like this. This is very good. So this patron did what I was talking about earlier, how even though this is technically one big, long, complete thought, because it's broken up with we are, and just the way that it's sung and everything, I personally think, and this is what patron A chose to do, it's best to break it up into three complete thoughts. There is nowhere these wings can't fly. That's a great way of expressing doko ni demo ikeru. Like, these wings can fly anywhere. You can flip that and say, there is nowhere these wings can't fly. That means the same thing, but I feel like there is nowhere these wings can't fly is a little more inspirational than like, I defy you to find a place that these wings can't go. And they only cost $9.99. Yeah, I like that wording a lot better because it's a lot more inspirational. And if you listen to the music in this section, it's uplifting. So I gifted them to you. Yeah, and that makes sense. あなたに授けたの means like, I gifted them to you. And no, this no at the end of this thought, it is the explaining particle in this case. It's desu or no desu. That's what it's doing here. So the so in here, so I gifted them to you, that actually is warranted. To sweep away even the deepest darkness, donna yami demo, even the deepest darkness. That expresses pretty well, like no matter how dark the darkness, even the deepest darkness is a much cleaner way of expressing that. And I like sweep away for harasu, to sweep away even the deepest darkness. Yes, this is a very good translation. Patron B, so this is the singable one. We are the stars that light the paths and roads, a blazing lamp that shines and then goes, clearing the dark. Even if we do part, I'm a little confused. Even if we do part in the end. Okay, I think that's how it goes. A blazing lamp that shines and then goes, clearing the dark. Even if we... It's hard because, like, I can read music, by the way. So like, if this were notated in like music notation, it would be a little bit easier for me to figure out how exactly I'm supposed to sing it. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the rhyming scheme here, we are the stars that light the paths and roads, a blazing lamp that shines and then goes, so, and roads, then goes, clearing the dark, even if we do part, again, slant rhyme, but rhyme, in the end. So yeah, that works. And now meaning-wise, we are the stars that light the paths and roads. That's just really cool and poetic. It wasn't exactly in the original Japanese. Darkness is mentioned. And if you think about, well, things that shine in the dark, you've got stars, you've got a blazing lamp. So that imagery works, even though stars are not mentioned in Japanese. Again, you have to kind of add shit when you're adapting Japanese to English. That light the paths and roads, a blazing lamp that shines and then goes, clearing the dark. So this, the donna yami mo harashite shimaeru yoni. So in this adaptation, this patron didn't, I guess we are the stars. Yeah, it's metaphor. You and I both, not just you. Like, I gave you these wings, you know, that can chase the darkness away. But patron B is still including, okay, we are. And that actually makes sense because in this little scatting, we are the stars that light the paths and roads. A blazing lamp that shines and then goes, clearing out the dark, even if we do part in the end. Even if we do part in the end, I think that's just referencing Frieren, the show, the story. So again, it's not necessarily a mistranslation for this adaptation because it's true to the source material. I do like that Patron B decided for the singable version to incorporate we are, like that scatting section, into the actual singable line there. Okay, so Patron C. We are. I left you, my darling dear. We are, with a pair of wings that can carry you anywhere. So you can blow away even your darkest clouds. Well, I still prefer sweep away from patron A, but blow away, like that imagery works too. If you can imagine, like in the sky, just like, but that's the thing, the pair of wings, can wings blow things? That's where I'm kind of missing the metaphor here. Wings, you can imagine using wings or feathers to sweep things away. But you wouldn't exactly blow things so much. I mean, I guess if you're thinking of like a feather fan, you can use that to blow something away. But I think sweeping is a bit of a cleaner metaphor here if you're talking about wings making darkness go away. Even blow away your darkest clouds. I kind of like that because of the metaphor of like, well, a dark clouds, a cloudy sky, that, you know, depression. And I do think that's the metaphor that yami that we're talking about in here in the original Japanese. I think that is a bit of a metaphor for depression or dark clouds. I like the choice of I left you my darling dear with a pair of wings that can carry you anywhere. Again, if we're thinking that this is Himmel writing this letter, singing this song to Frieren, Like he did leave her, he died, but he left behind a pair of wings that can carry her anywhere. So I like that imagery there. And then darling dear, that's not a stretch. Well, for one thing, Himmel loves Frieren, but also anata. Even though it's the pronoun you, it also, if you're actually using it repetitively to address a person, it's very like endearing. It's very like darling dear. It does have that vibe. All right, so chorus. You gave me holy brave. Okay, beautiful English. We'll look at that later. You gave me holy brave. Osorezu ni susume. Oh, holy brave. Furi kaereba itsumo holy trace. Holy shit. Anata ga waratte ta. All right, that was chorus number 1. Okay, so you gave me holy brave. That's bad English. I mean, I guess if you're sort of thinking poetically, you gave me holy brave. I don't know, it still doesn't work for me. We'll see what the patrons do with that. Yeah, I would say what they're trying to say here with this English is you gave me a holy bravery, or you made me brave. Something like that. Osorezu ni susume. So osorezu ni is like without fear, don't be afraid. Susume, that means like go forth. So it's like fear not and go forth. That's kind of what this means. Oh, holy brave. Yeah, that's just filler at this point. Again, if you're a Japanese person listening to it, it'll be like gibberish, gibberish. Fear not and walk ahead, oh gibberish. If you turn around, I'm always there. Gibberish. That's what it sounds like if you're Japanese. Okay, so like, but to us, it's backwards. Yeah, so furikaereba itsumo. Whenever you look over your shoulder or turn around, always, ... Or whenever I turn around and look over my shoulder, always ... There's no pronouns right here, so we kind of don't technically know like who's doing what, who's looking over whose shoulder. So let's move on. So furikaereba itsumo, holy trace, anata ga waratte ta. So if you look at that as one complete thought, then okay, whenever I looked over my shoulder, you were there smiling. Aw, isn't that sweet? So this osorezu ni susume, I feel like Himmel is saying this like to himself in a way, kind of like psyching himself up, but he could also be saying it to Frieren. I mean, I could make the choice to translate this as like, therefore, like, both of us, let us fear not and carry on and walk ahead sort of thing. Patron A, you gave me the holy bravery. That was a good choice to translate holy brave as holy bravery. To move forward without fear. Yeah, and like the original Japanese is more like a command, like move forward without fear. But you can change the form of the verbs here for a song's sake, for poetry. Because I like the flow of this. You gave me the holy bravery to move forward without fear. It makes a nice complete thought in English. You could have left the English as a complete thought by itself and then the translation of the next line as another complete thought by itself, but I like combining them. Whenever I look back, I see the holy trace of your smiling face. Okay, that's a good fix for this holy trace thing that doesn't exactly make much sense. The holy trace of your smiling face. Like, traces of your smiling face, I think would be a little more correct in English, but because of the slant rhyme, well, actually the slant rhyme is gone now because it's holy bravery instead of holy brave. In the original Japanese, holy brave and holy trace are like sort of barely a slant rhyme. Brave and trace, I mean, okay, it's the same vowel sound and there's like an R before that vowel sound. Similar. But yeah, that was a pretty good workaround, the holy trace of your smiling face. And we're speaking in present tense here, but again, if you're thinking, well, this is Himmel writing a letter to Frieren on his deathbed or something, and he's like, whenever I look back upon my life, perhaps, I see the holy traces of your smiling face. I think that works pretty well. So patron B, the singable version, you followed all the way. So patron B is just like, we're not hearing the original Japanese in this adaptation, so I'm not beholden to it. I can just do whatever I want, which is good. You followed all the way, no turning back with every step, all the way. With every stride, you were by my side. In all the ways, those days with you, I would not change. No turning back. It was really more whenever I turn back, or whenever I look back. Furikaereba isn't necessarily like I literally look over my shoulder or turn back. It can mean metaphorically, like when I look back on my life. So this no turning back is actually a different way of expressing don't be afraid and move forward. Osorezu ni susume, I think. You followed all the way, yeah. Because we're talking about being on paths, and they were on a journey together. With every step all the way, with every stride, you were by my side. Good little rhyming couplet there. In all the ways, those days with you, I would not change. So yeah, we have some good rhyming here. You followed all the way, no turning back with every step all the way. With every stride you were by my side in all the ways. Those days with you I would not change. Something like that. I'm sorry, I'm actually not that familiar with this song. I've only listened to it like 3 times. I'm bad. I didn't want to be like too pre-influenced when I walked into this. I didn't want to like come into this with all my preconceived notions of how it ought to be translated or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's singable. We have some good rhyming couplets. All the way, in all the ways. It's all kind of the same thing just about, but I think it works. The repetition is good. In Japanese, you had holy brave, holy trace, which was all practically the same thing 3 times. So that mirrors pretty well. Patron C. So these are subtitles. You gave me holy brave. Again, you're a fan watching this and you're listening to the Japanese singer and you're reading these subtitles, so you kind of have no choice in these cases to just keep the bad English. So you gave me holy brave, told me to trudge on without fear. I like trudge. Anytime that you can like use a more specific verb, to describe how a person is proceeding forward on a path, trudge on. That implies, well, it's a very long journey and it can get a little monotonous at times, but, keep trudging on. Oh, holy brave, whenever I looked back, I'd see your holy trace as you smiled at me. Yeah, this is an example of like, it's not always best if you have to keep the bad English as bad English. But again, if it's subtitles, you sometimes kind of have no choice but to keep that bad English intact. Your holy trace. Yeah, it's just not very good English. I'm not like criticizing this translator's English, again, because they were, constrained by that, Japanese bad English of holy trace in the original lyrics. I think this was a decent workaround. I'd see your holy trace as you smiled at me. Maybe I'd be like, I'd see the holy trace of your smile, like Patron A did. I see the holy trace of your smiling face. I think that works a little bit better than your holy trace. But yeah, like the translation is pretty solid otherwise. To trudge on without fear. I like that. Okay, so final chorus. We're almost at an hour. Wo dakara, holy brave. So we got like English scat, Japanese word, 2 English words. Wo dakara, holy brave. Tsumazuki nagara demo. So that's, we earlier in the song we had like mayoi nagara deitemo. Now this is tsumazuki nagara demo. So that's even if you trip up. Holy brave. Watashi wa. So we're finally using a pronoun. Okay, so confession. I watch Frieren dubbed in English, so I don't know what pronouns Himmel uses. This actually would inform who is singing the song. Although, I'm going to counterpoint that. But if you look at the animation of, Himmel penning this letter, the beautiful animation that somebody drew by hand, and it's awesome. When you're writing a letter, you will often take on a more formal tone. So even if Himmel is the type Like, I personally would think Himmel would be an ore pronoun person, but maybe he isn't. Whoever watches the Japanese version of Frieren, correct me if I'm wrong. This is just my guess. Even if he doesn't use watashi as his normal I, me pronoun, like, he might use that in, like, a letter like this. So even though I ordinarily would be like, oh, watashi, that probably isn't Himmel, it still could be Himmel. So my theory still rings true. 私は踏み出せる. So we're having a whole sentence here. つまずきながらでも私は踏み出せる. That means, like, even if I stumble, even if I falter, I will, be able to, 踏み出せる, I can, still keep walking forward. 遠くへ, far away, to any distance, very far. あなたがいる場所へ, so to the place where you are. I almost see this as, it could be Frieren saying, like, that she can go, far away to where he is, where Himmel is. Because he's the one who's gone away, he's died. She's the one who's still on a journey. So patron A, whoa, that's why holy bravery, even when I falter, your holy bravery means I can take that next step on this long... Now, what I would do, this is just like, especially since this is sort of an online translation, the little English bits that are sort of, they more serve as just filler, kind of like in a song if you'd be like, oh, baby, or whatever. It's not like technically part of the lyrics. It's just kind of like, I'm pausing and like going, ooh, baby. It's kind of like that feel. So holy bravery, I would maybe put in parentheses personally, just as a style choice to separate it out so it's a little clearer what the lyrics are actually saying here. Because if you read this, that's why even when I falter, but this time holy bravery is part of the lyrics. Even when I falter, your holy bravery means I can take that next step. I don't know. That's why holy bravery, because that's why holy bravery isn't really a complete thought, maybe an ellipses. That's why holy bravery, M dash or ellipses, just to kind of separate it out to show, well, this isn't a complete thought, but I'm going to sort of complete it later. Even when I falter, your holy bravery means that I can take that next step on this long road. Ooh, toku e, long road. That's a good way of expressing that. To the place where you are. I dig that. Means that I can take that next step on this long road to the place where you are. Yeah, and this long road, death. It's funny because Himmel means heaven in German. And like, that's where Himmel is right now, in heaven. Okay, so patron B, the singable version. Whoa, so when I've lost the way, no need to fear that you're not near, 'cause I'm okay. I can make a path or trace the last to find my way, all the way to you wherever that lay. I think that is how it goes. Cool. That rhymes. So when I've lost the way, that's kind of another way that you can express tsumazuki nagara demo, when I falter, when I've lost the way. No need to fear that you're not near. Oh, that's sad and sweet because like they're apart. He's dead. 'Cause I'm okay. I can make a path or trace the last. That was not in the original Japanese there, but there is like imagery of like looking back, the furikaereba part there. So again, it's not entirely unfounded there. Trace the last to find my way all the way to you, wherever that lay. Wherever that lay. I think I'm just having an issue with that line. I think you don't need to force a rhyme in the very last line in this song, even though in Japanese they did. Watashi wa fumidaseru toku e, anata ga iru basho e. Like, okay, fine, they did it in the Japanese, but I don't know. I think it's not working so well in this English. Wherever that lay. Yeah, like if you would actually say wherever that lies or wherever that may be. But wherever that lay, it isn't quite working English-wise for me. Wherever that path may lay, like, wherever that lay is just kind of odd. Yeah, I think you would need wherever that path may lay, perhaps, to make that make a little more sense. Patron C, whoa, that's why, holy brave. Though I might stumble on my way, holy brave, I know that my feet will carry me, no matter how far away, to where you are. Yeah, that's very straightforward. And I think the The English lyrics in there are just being little italicized chorus bits for the background singers to kind of sing with the singer. That works fine. You just kind of ignore the holy brave. That's why, though I might stumble on my way, I know that my feet will carry me no matter how far away to where you are. And notice we have some rhyming in there. Okay, so now, as I promised, I'm going to just read through the singable translation that patron... I'm calling these people patrons. They're not technically patrons. They're coffee donators. Anyway, translator C. Their singable version. So don't you worry. I'll be with you throughout your endless journey. Protect you, though I may have gone to glory. The story has only just begun. There may be times when you lose your way and drift along unknown paths, but if that happens, I will pray and hope that the hope that you had when I knew you will always see you through. We are the steadfast wings that now are yours to wear, a part of me that's now in your care. Soar through the darkness till all that you are is bright and clear. You made me wholly brave. Look at this. I think this is extremely clever. It sounds the same as Holy brave, but it's a homonym. Wholly brave. That means like completely brave. And I really like that too. I like that interpretation. It's like Himmel was brave before he met Frieren. You know, he was a brave warrior fighter dude, but like meeting her and falling in love with her, like I think gave him that different level of bravery. So I really like this choice here to change Holy brave to Wholly brave. You made me wholly brave, because when I walked with you, I'd feel so unafraid. Whenever I looked back, I'd see your holy trace, that radiant smile on your face. This is a clever workaround again of this holy trace. Adding a colon, like your holy trace. What the heck is a holy trace? I'm going to tell you. The radiant smile on your face. Whoa, so I'll be wholly brave. Though I may stumble, I will not be led astray, because no matter the distance, I'll go all the way, and I'll be right there with you someday. Yeah, I think this is a really good singable translation, and it's a pretty steady translation, like good adaptation and also pretty steady translation. I feel like it added a little less than translator B's adaptation. Anyway, I just wanted to include that because, you know, did some cool things. Anyway, this is a very long video. I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope you all learned something. I learn constantly from other translators of varying levels all the time. Like, that's one really cool thing about this profession, is that there's always new things to learn. I think these were all like really good translations / adaptations of this song. If you want to be a translator on my next Let's Translate series, again, go check out my Ko-fi to see if I am currently running one. I'm not doing these constantly. I do these basically kind of on demand. So if you are interested, follow me on Blue Sky if you're not already, because that's kind of how you can keep in touch with me and see what I'm up to. I don't upload on this channel super regularly. If you're watching this video close to its release date, there will be another Let's Translate anime songs in another month or two, where we're going to look at the opening theme song to Dandadan. Yes, that first one that's really fast and complicated and very difficult to translate. I'm looking forward to seeing what the translators for that came up with. Thank you to the translators who participated in this and to the people who contributed on Ko-fi as general support. If you enjoyed this and want to support it, go ahead and tip me on Ko-fi if you so desire. Otherwise, I'm just happy that you stuck through this entire very long video. Good night.